Okay, good afternoon to everyone. I'm so happy to see all of you again here. Thanks for being patient in the entrance. We understand that we are following the COVID measures. Well, first of all, let me first thank our speaker today. Mr. Borja Ortega is the incoming CEO of BNP Paribas Real Estate Spain. We are extremely excited and looking forward to your presentation. So again, thank you so much for making time for this event today. Students are really excited. We have been talking in class about this, so we look forward to it. What I would like to do before we do introductions, we're gonna have the executive director of the Real Estate Association at the Esp giving some words. Then the president of the Real Estate Association this year is going to introduce the speaker, so I'm going to wait for that. But what I want to do is first to tell you a little bit, those that are not ESCP students, that we have some of you. My understanding is that we have 100 people here today and 80 people following streaming. So for those of them, this is Esp Business School. It's the oldest business school in the world. We have 5 campuses across Europe. We have actually 2 campuses in Paris. It's the only Grand École that has presence in downtown Paris, in a beautiful building in one of the main streets. Very influential students and alumni network. We also have campuses in London, Madrid, Turin in Italy, and Berlin. So we are kicking off this ambition to make the real estate sector more professional. We have a fantastic alliance with BNP Paribas Real Estate. We are very proud. We did 20 great events in the last 2 years. We got a lot of visibility and followers. And well, the first thing is that we are really happy to continue collaborating with BNP Paribas Real Estate. They are a great name in Europe, and we are also a French institution, so we are a great partnership that has, at least at the European level, presence in many countries. So we have launched a Master of Science in Real Estate, which we have 36 students. Our ambition is to become #1 in continental Europe. Great students. In addition, we have a new track in the Master in Hospitality Hotel Development, which we have 21 out of 31 students doing that. And in addition, we have the Master in Management, which is #5 in the world, according to Financial Times, which we open a real estate track. And that track is 52 students. So overall, we have around 120 real estate students, postgraduate, eager to do internships, consulting projects, for many companies, of course. Many of them express interest about real estate, about BNP Paribas Real Estate. So that's what we have done, and just wanted to introduce you who we are. We are a very proud institution about who we are. Next step is Claudia Russo. She's Executive Director of the Real Estate Association at ESCP, and is going to tell us a little bit how we started. And then we're going to have the president of the association. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaime. So a quick overview about the Real Estate Association at the Esp Business School, what we call REAS. Top down from what Jaime has been mentioning in terms of the university as a whole. REAS is actually an association by students and for the students. The main goal in the beginning was primarily to leverage on the resources, the contacts, the network, and the reputation and history that ESP Business School has in order to create opportunities for the students to learn more about an industry which is huge, not only in terms of what we see day to day, it's all buildings, not only in terms of money that's moving within the industry, but also in terms of career growth and visibility. Usually what we see in the prospects of business schools, you have a section of the people who graduated if they went on to consulting, investment banking, marketing. There's never a little part that says how many people went to real estate. And it's such a large industry with such a potential that we really think that it should be involved in what a business school is. So this is why the association began. We have been capitalizing on what ESCP Business School has to offer as an institution, And as students, they are moving the association in order to learn themselves and to become better professionals. In all of this, we really do try to involve companies as much as possible, because the more the students learn from top-level companies, the more professional they will become, and the more they will be able to give back to these companies. So this is why we have been so involved with BNP Paribas Real Estate, particularly, who has been sponsoring all of these events. And I'm sure that you do get the quality out of all of these events which we have been hosting, in order to learn and become better professionals, or at least understand more the industry and where you want to head in your career path. So with this, I'd like to introduce Thibault, who's our president this year and leading the association throughout this academic year. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll keep it quite short. So I'm very happy we're able to do this, especially in these COVID times. And guys, what I kind of want to point out is, even though this is a real estate association, I think this association could be quite interesting, not just for students in real estate, but for other masters and bachelors as well. We cover, only in the previous events, we've covered urbanism, development. Right now we're going to do leadership in real estate. We're going to have investment funds, luxury brokerage, so every kind of aspect. And it's not only just about development or about buildings, it's about strategy, how to manage companies, leadership. So I think that's just a really great thing we can do, especially in these times. So I won't keep you guys any longer. Our speaker of tonight, he firstly interned at the European Commission in 1997 as a lawyer, so he didn't start off in real estate. He started in 2000, and from 2002 until 2006, he was the director of residential investment at JLL. After that period, he had a 2-year streak where he was the investment director from Grupo España. In 2009, he became the international investments director at Colliers International. And for a short period of time, he was the investment director at Elitia Advisory, until 2014, where he returned to JLL, where he had a lot of different functions, ending up as the CCO of the company. And now finally, in 2020, he took on the job as CEO of BNP Paribas Real Estate. Let me hear a loud applause for our speaker of tonight, Borja Ortega.
So thank you very much for such a warm welcome to all of you. I'm really honored to be here. So hello to the audience here, and hello to the audience online. I hope you can listen perfect to me, and I would really like to thank you, ECP, for this opportunity. I have a lot of papers here, what I'm going to tell you, but I think I'm gonna not have a look at it. So I would like to have a really open discussion and chat with all of you. I think I'm going to divide my chat in three lines. First, I'm gonna tell you about my life, professional. Apart from that, if you want to ask, I will let you know after. Then I will speak a little bit of how I see the real estate sector now. And then I will end with how I think we should have real leaders in our industry and in business in general, okay? So I'm 46 years old, and I started my professional career in Brussels, working in stage in the European Commission. We can say it was work, but what it was really a life experience. So congratulations to all of you who are here, because you're having, apart from a great opportunity to learn, you're having a great life experience that for sure will set the path of your life in the future. After that, I'm a lawyer, okay? So I start to work in Garrigues Andersen, today's Garrigues law firm, when I spent 2 years. But I realized, and I think that I was lucky at this stage, that it was not what I want to do. I didn't want to be a lawyer, okay? And I have a lot of friends now who are partners of law firms, etc., that they wanted to be. So I moved, I changed my path. So this is very important. Always you will have the possibility to change and to choose the right thing you want to do. So remember always this. You have to be happy at every second of what you are doing. You will see, I will give some things while I'm talking about whatever. But for instance, being happy, what means? You have to have the same sentiment on your car, on your train, on your bike, on a Monday morning than on a Friday morning. So you need to have the same enthusiasm, the same strength, the same ideas. Of course, you will be more tired on a Friday and more in your ages after Thursday evenings, okay? So remember that. So I moved, I changed, and I started in JLL, a company that 20 years ago has nothing to do with what is now JLL. We were much more pure brokers, and we have all the industry and all the consultancy industry, we have moved to consultants. What that means? It means that maybe 20, 25, 30, 40 years ago, we were just traders, brokers, okay? I had something, and I offered that to another one, and I just put in contact and I say, buy. What we are doing today in consultancy, we are adding value to our clients. That's another key point, adding value to whatever thing you do in your life, personal, professional, of course. So I spent there 6 years and a half. I started from the very, very bottom on the agency office team, which means I had to work all around Madrid, offering offices of 150 to 200 square meters to people. So I started to interact with a lot of people and different kind of people. That was also another very important thing that I had. Those experience always will help you. It was when the residential boom started, so I moved into residential in 2001, and we developed a big team. Another very important and essential word. What I am today is because there has been people and team around, down, over me, always working as a team. So I spent six years there, and I ended as residential investment director, as has been said. I had a client, which was a family office, Grupo Hispania. He offered me a job, and I said, okay, let's move. So I had the mandate to do a lot of investment in Latin America. So it was curious, because I moved from a very multinational with everything for me. I just needed to send an email and I will have everything. In 2 weeks, I was in a Starbucks with a laptop and said, what can I do now? I have to find a new office in Madrid. I have to find a construction company. I have to hire the people of the company in Madrid. So I have to set up the company in Madrid. It was great, okay, it was great. And then I started to travel a lot to Latin America. After 2 years there, we were sold. So it's something that it is not in the papers, but in August 2008, remember that moment. You have heard about that moment. The ones that we were working at that moment, we remember that moment because it was a crisis, tough financial crisis. There were no money. In 2009, the liquidity on the investment world was $500 million. Today, the liquidity that we have in the world, ready to invest, is $2.4 trillion of dollars. So imagine the situation. It has nothing to do. There is liquidity at exceed. Also, again, in 2008, I had to go to the queue on the unemployment office. And I had to fill everything. And I had an interview in the unemployment office. And they asked, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to do these very special things, whatever, investment. And the girl in the office was saying, I'm sorry, but I cannot help you. So again, being humble is very, very important for everything in your life. But I was lucky, and I moved to Colliers. And in Colliers, because of my experience in LATAM, I was appointed as International Investment Director. So what I was doing, I was advising Spanish and European clients in investments outside Spain, mainly in Latin America. So I would say from 2007 in the family office until the beginning of 2012, my life was every 2 months, I spent 15, 20 days in Mexico DF, a city of nearly 30 million people. Great experience. Professional, maybe the most, I would say, the most enjoyable experience I've had. But on the personal side, it was really, really tough. And this is another very important thing. I think that a big leader, after that, you have to have balance in your life. It's very important, the balance, professional, personal, and even spiritual balance. So because it was very great on the professional side, but on the personal side, I have my kids little, it was very, very tough. So I don't know if I will do it again today. So after that, I spent 1.5 years working in Elitia. Elitia was an Advent company. Advent is one of the largest private equity firms in the world. So you will have in your jobs pressure, of course, but you will never have, you cannot imagine the pressure of working for a private equity firm. That is really pressure. You say hello the first day, and they put the feet in your neck, say, show me the money. No, I've just entered, show me more money. So, but I've been always very close to JLL, so they started to call me. So I came back there in April 14, and I set up the business of wealth management. And what is wealth management? It's advising private investors to invest in real estate. Why was not this before? Because until 5-6 years ago, all the consultancy firms and brokers and investment bankings, we were all very, very focused on the institutional investment, financial investment from real estate funds, private equities, developers, and we were not focused on the private sector. But because people is getting more and more wealthy, a lot of investment is being redirected to real estate. In 1997, real estate is considered an alternative investment, okay? So in 1997, just 2% of the total volume of investment around the world was dedicated to alternative investment. The rest was stock exchange, currency, fixed rent, etc. Just 2% were dedicated to alternative investment. 20 years after, it's nearly 14% what is dedicated to alternative investment. Why? Because there has been a much more professional sector with better professionals, with business schools, university, program management dedicated to real estate, as this one, maybe this one, 20, 25 years ago, would be very, very difficult. We were talking before about when you set up the EPED, so etc. It started to get really, really professional. And it started to attract really good professionals, good people. So we started to advise to private investors because they are investing direct and indirect a lot in real estate. Then I was offered the position of head of capital markets. When I took that position, I had a 20 people team. 3 years and a half after, I had a team of 60 people. I had in my team, of course, people who have studied law, business, say even, I don't know, philosophy, whatever. But we had people who had studied maths, teleco engineers, physics. Why? Because of the treatment of data. And data is essential today to investors on how they invest. They have to analyze every single thing to take their decisions. So we were able, for instance, to advise Blackstone on buying the portfolio from Popular when they merged with Santander. So we analyzed 120,000 assets in 2 weeks. Why? Using data and machine learning. Okay, so that's another important thing that you have always to take in account. And finally, after long conversations with BNP, we finally arrived to the marriage. And with 46 years, I think that is really where I want to be. Why? Because what I want is being a teammate. Okay, bring all my experience, bring all the business I've done, bring all the good and bad things experience with clients to the company to keep the path that's been set up and try to keep the position, but also to develop the new strategic plan that we have for the next 3 years. One very important thing about real estate, there is multiple options for you to work in real estate. I would like you to think, and I will ask you about this, where you want to be in the future. Do you know or not? I don't know. But you have consultancy firms, you have investment banks, you have funds, you can be in a financial institution lending money, you can be in the public sector maybe, on a regulator. So there are plenty of things. Remember this, real estate is one of the main sectors of the economy in Spain, of course, but I think around the world. And we are seeing this during this crisis. What do you think is the main sector today in investment in Spain? Anyone? Sorry? Real estate? But inside real estate, do you know the sectors of real estate? Sorry, I will explain. So we divide more or less in 4 big areas, the real estate. We have the offices, okay? You all know what is offices. We have the logistics and industrial. Then we have retail, which is shopping centers, supermarkets, and high street units. And then we have what we call, and is the last and a very, very emerging sector, is what we call living. And what is living? Is everywhere you have a bed and you can sleep. So it's from a hotel to your home, to a hospital, to a student housing, to a nursery housing, whatever. And there is a lot of money entering into that sector. But if you said which is you think a booming sector now, and who is decreasing? Who is decreasing? What do you think? Offices. What else? Sorry? Retail. All the retail? Think about that. Logistics, you think it's booming? So, logistics is booming. Why? Why do you think it's booming? E-commerce. E-commerce, of course. You cannot imagine how are the yields that we are achieving in logistics. We are achieving yields at the level of the office sector, which is crazy. There's been a sale now of the Amazon warehouse near Madrid, more than 100 million euros at a 3.7 yield. That was unimaginable maybe 2 years ago. Crazy. If you said that you're going to sell a logistic platform 4%, they will call you crazy and get you to the hospital. So, but offices is suffering. Why? This is a clear effect of COVID-19, because it's changing. We are all working. Do you think that home working will keep will keep strong in the future? Who thinks it's going to be strong and there's going to be a lot of homework? Who thinks that it's something linked to just COVID and we will back all in the offices? So it's half-half, curious. And you know what? You have just now been professional experts. You know why? Because I think all the sector, we are all the same. So we don't know what's going to happen with the offices. And uncertainty is one of the biggest fears of the investors. So they don't know how to deploy their money, okay? If you ask about my personal view, I think we need the offices. We need to have people together. And this is very linked with leadership, and I have some notes on people. You know, how difficult is the people management without the physical contact, without looking at the eyes, hearing you, looking at you. And imagine for a new manager like myself, have just entered in BNP maybe 2.5 weeks ago. I haven't met all the team. I haven't been able to say hello to every single of my employees, which at the end, what they are my colleagues, they're my teammates. It's the people you're going to be interacting. It's the people you spend really time with them. So I think that sentiment of belonging to a company, of being proud of a company, of initiative, okay? And you are all linked to the business. There is a lot of possibilities being together. Say, let's think about this possibility. Let's draft something. Can you have a teams to discuss this new idea I have just had? Yes, when I can in 2 hours, I can in 3, sorry, it go away. So I think that it's going to be like a mix, okay? The home working is really a very good thing. I used, without COVID, of the 5 days, I used to work at home on Fridays. And you can say, hey, near the weekend. No, the reason is because I have a lot of commercial activity from Monday to Thursday. And on Fridays, I'm able to sit down at home, think, prepare next week, do all the staff and administration work. Okay? So, moving on that, I have just joined BNP. And again, really, really happy. So, all the retail, you think it's suffering? What retail is not suffering? Supermarkets. At the end, it's back to the basics. So today, the investors are being back to the basics. And they are saying, I'm going to invest in what is essential to the human being. We all have to eat. So you can invest either in supermarkets, in logistics, where they have food to give to the supermarkets, or you can invest in e-platforms that are developing. For instance, a new one called Delivery. Delivery is just going to have different brands and supermarkets together, so you will be able to make your selection from different supermarkets or operators, and just one, you will receive just one at home. So supermarkets, it's going well. In the other hand, we have shopping centers really suffering. I think there's going to be a transformation. And what else? It's essential for us. What else? The most basic thing. Housing. We need a place to stay. So what we are suffering in Spain is a tremendous transformation of the resi sector. We are, and we will still be in a very ownership model here in Spain. But if I asked the people of like you or up to 35 years in the company or colleagues, they would say, I don't need to own a home. I need to have a proper, right, perfect space to stay, but I don't need to own. Oh, sorry. Maybe I will invest in a company that owns houses where I can live. So it's the sophistication, being more professional, that private investors and private money will move into that kind of investments. If you ask people like old like me, 46 years old, I believe I have never think about living without owning my house. But I have invested in people who owns houses for others. So that's a brief or not so brief introduction about what I've done. And there are some pillars for me if we talk about leadership. The first one, and it's clear that the main thing that we have in BNP Real Estate, it's people. You always have to have that pillar on the very first thing of your mind. You have to surround by people that trust in you, can follow your sentiment on how to do things, and are willing also to be ambassadors at any level of your company aims. So it's in BNP, it's clear ethics, of course, transformation, innovation, and having the client in the center of our day-to-day business. This is something also I always tell my teams. You know that sometimes we are called a lot of times to pitch, to give a service to a client. And it's curious that a lot of pitchers started talking about myself. I don't like that at all, and I've done that a lot of times. Hello, I'm BNP. I have a presence in 45 countries. We are 180,000 people around the world. We have this income. Last year we've done this deal. Yeah, the client knows that. What he knows is how you're gonna achieve his ambitions, not your ambitions. So remember that. Achieve client's ambitions, not yours. And having the client in the center of your mind will give the client, will give you the possibility to show to the client that you are gonna work for his value. Your work is gonna be valuable to him. At the end, you are adding value. Okay, remember always to have the client in the center of everything you're doing. Okay? Then the people, you need to have people linked to the territory. Because despite there is a big tendencies, big investors, remember that you always have local expertise and a need of local knowledge to local solutions. Okay? After that, it's a mix. It's a mix. What do you think about BNP now? First idea, BNP Real Estate and BNP as an institution. Come on. I need to drink. Come on. Influence? A bank? Sorry? Global? Okay. Well, you have not said a word about transformation. We are in constant transformation. So we have to be a balance between tradition and transformation. Of course, our pillars are tradition. We are a very well-established bank. We are the largest bank in Eurozone. But we cannot remain on that, okay? And that's something very important also to all of you. Don't believe that after your degree at the university and your degree here, you need to have constant transformation. And use anything you do. You will learn, you will have professional experience. Keep always that with you. Is your path on a constant transformation, okay? So it's something both for companies and professionals to have that transformation always in mind. Okay. Also, what it means about transformation is that we have to work on building a better future. Okay. Our investments, our advice, your work in the future always have to be very linked to our sustainability. Okay. The better we work, the better we think about the future of the people, it will be better again for our clients, okay? So we are very, very convinced, very linked to that. It's something always I have always tried to give and to emphasize with my teams and with the clients, okay? And they really got that, okay? I said that it's how we create value to the client. It's because, if you remember at the beginning, say that 30, 40 years ago, the industry were really based just on trading and saying, this is Mr. Smith, this is Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones, shake hands, and if you do the business, I will just be here just waiting for my commission, okay? This is something that has really, really changed. Today, the consultants, we have to behave like really partners of our clients. So if it's good for the client, it's good for me. So I have to stay all. What will be my ideal work with a client? Will be trying to identify his needs. This is why always, and this is also a very characteristic in me. Every time I'm meeting a client on the first meeting, I used to speak very, very little. I let him speak a lot, just to understand what he wants, how he is, where I can advise him, where can I help. And it's strange. Sometimes they get strange. Hey, offer something. What can I offer you if I don't know you? So have that value conversation. It's very important in everything in your life. No, it's personal, professional, whatever. Listen to the others. So again, what I was saying is being a partner. What will be my ideal role? Imagine a value add fund. You all know what is a value add fund? Yeah? Okay. So imagine value add fund that said, I would love to buy an asset, reshape under a technical, commercial, and then put it into the market. So my ideal will be find the assets and say, don't pay me now, but let me be with you and let me take a part of your succeed at the end. And this is something that sometimes is just maybe think about the investment managers, but the real estate consultancy, we have to think about that, because it's where we can really differentiate and give value to the clients again, okay? I have talked a little bit before about sustainability. Keep it in mind, both the sustainability of our work, of our world, but also of our finance, of our sector. So they always try to think in advance, try to anticipate what could happen in the future, okay? And this will be really help you to have a sustainable, don't do crazy things, and at the same time building a better future, okay? So it's those two kinds of sustainability. And then ethics. For me, it's keen. It's as important as all the things I've said before. First impression I need to have from you, what do you think about the brokerage consultancy firm? Do you think it's an ethic business today? Please be honest. Is any here in the room thinks is not ethical? Come on. Well, that's the image that a lot of our business gives to the market. So who is the one who has to change this? Ourselves. So we have very, very strict rules in the industry with organizations like RICS, or in Spain through the Bank of Spain with the ECO, or in the States with others, but also the firms, and we do that in BNP Real Estate. We do have, and we must have, real code of ethics, real show the people how they have to behave. And this is something that when you insist, you show them that this really creates value to the company and to you. At the end, it brings the benefit back, because clients will work with you because they trust in you, okay? So for me, Skin, it's something that I will never accept on my team, in my company, and it's another key pillar of my behavior as a leader, okay? And finally, and this is very linked to ECP and how the things that they are doing and the program you're following, talent. We need the best people. Anytime in the future you do a job interview, as interviewer, don't say yes at the first time. It's something very common. I like yes, think very much. It has to be a real yes, okay? So think about the talent of the people. Why? Because again, everything comes back to the beginning. We need people who can create value to the clients through all of this we have been speaking, okay? So the talent and having the opportunity you have here of being at ECP, it's fantastic for you, and it will be very, very valuable. Finally, one very important thing, don't run. If you run very fast, sometimes you can fall down. So it's very important to have patience. If you are good people, remember the first thing I've said, good people, and then good professionals. Think there will be the positive karma for you, okay? You will have your chance. It's plenty of opportunities, and don't worry. It's very important always also to follow. Let's not use the word boss, but your colleague that is running an area and you are in that area. If you feel okay with him, stay with him for a period, because you will get a lot back. You will learn. You will see experience, good and bad, and it will be really, really knowledge for you. So remember to finish from my side, and before I hope you speak, really I hope, client-centric, key, very, very important. And then in Spanish, I hope you have learned a little bit of Spanish, because my summary of how I am a leader, or I am supposed to be a leader, they call me leader, I'm just Borja, apart from being humble, being patient, is what I call the 3 E's, okay? We have 2 English E's here, which is the excellence in everything you do. Please always remember to have an excellent work to every client. Ethics, and the third one in Spanish is equipo, which is teamwork. It's so simple to do those things, okay? Ethics, equipo, and excellence. At the end, the work is not another thing like our life. The way you behave at home with your family, with your friends, how you want to do things with your friends, with your family, is exactly do the same at the work. There is no secret, there is no clue. Then you can have more abilities in cash flow. Another one will have more abilities in the commercial side, and another one in the back office or in the marketing or whatever. But it's so simple to be as you are, it's something normal, okay? And behave as in that way, okay? So, any of you have changed anything in his mind after this chat on how he see the real estate sector? So you are okay with that, perfect. So I'm gonna make a quick questions, because it's always, let's say that we have three kind of industries, three kind of sectors, sorry, within the real estate industry. We have the funds, investment funds, we have the developers, and we have the consultancy firms. So if I ask, please raise hands, anyone who would like to work in a fund, in a real estate fund. Okay, and in a real estate developer? And in a real estate consultants firm? Well, it's so, no? Thirds, and thirds, I would say. I will start for in a consultancy firm if I were you. You're going to have a huge vision of how is a sector, how is distributed, and that will really help you to see, I want to stay in a consultancy firms. From a consultancy firm, you will always be able to jump to another one. From another one, going to a consultancy firm could happen two things. That it will be difficult, okay, because it's really, really tough. It's really tough to have every 1st of January your counter at zero and start to think how you're going to make business. And then, if you're doing well in a fund and in a residential developer, you will be better paid than in a consultancy firm. So the movement is different. Anyway, starting with a consultancy firm, it will allow you to move to whatever. And I have said three main sectors, areas, but there are many, many more. You can work in an investment banking. You can work in a traditional bank with lending to real estate. You can work in an appraisal. You can work, as I said before, in a public institution. So it's plenty of opportunities, and it's not good I say that you are in the best sector, because I love real estate. And look, the changes I said before, and I'm coming back to my very beginning. I was supposed to be a diplomat. So I studied law, I studied English, I studied French, I speak Italian also. And then I went to Brussels and I met my wife. That's there. So maybe that's why I changed. And I ended in real estate. So I've never thought that in the fourth or last course of my university degree, I was going to be in the future doing real estate deals. So you never know. And what I want to do, I know what I want to do in 10 years' time, but I'm sure it's not going to be that way. So be always ready for changes, okay? Changes are good things at the end. This experience that we are all living, it's really tough to see all of you with masks, but keep the good things of the things. We are going to have a really transformation moment of our lives and of our industry. So take part of that, use that, okay? What else? Please, questions, come on.
And then you can ask questions. So just to raise your hand if you have a question. I saw you first, so when you ask the question, could you please stand up, say your name and your nationality, and then add the question.
Okay. So, Borja, I'm from Portugal. You have a hug from Fernando Ferreira from Capital Markets there. My question is, you talked a lot about client-centric. When you were broken at the beginning, and you had two, who was your client? The guy that got the house, or the guy that was buying the house, I can say an asset. The guy that was buying the assets, or the guy that is selling the assets?
When I started, my client was the one who paid me. It's simple, no? It's clear who is your client, the one who's paying you. Today, he's still my client, but if I have to say him, don't do this deal, or don't sell to this guy, I will put that first of doing the deal. Okay, so your client is who is paying you, of course, but you have to keep in mind that we don't have to have a short-term view.
And you can have both sides, supposedly, right?
Not in consultancy real estate. For me, that's not ethics.
Okay.
Not ethical, sorry. Okay.
Following question, anyone?
Hi, I'm Giovanni from Italy.
From, sorry?
Italy. So I had a pretty direct question onto real estate and how it is right now in its state. For example, say the housing price in America, in which the house pricing values have reached, even adjusted to inflation, the values in 2006, so very high and still growing. I just wanted to hear how you view this, how you view this soaring prices.
Well, I cannot give you an answer on America prices because I'm not an expert on America prices. I think that the American business in general, they have a clear, always high path to it. But then when there is a crisis, they are able to adapt very quickly. I think that there's going to be in Spain, if I talk about Spain, or countries like, I know, like Portugal, France, or Italy, I think that there's going to be more and more, and this is something that started in the previous financial crisis, a very differentiation market for kind of assets, for geography, or, yeah, I would say because of that. So I think that there's going to be kind of type of houses that are going to increase the value, and this could be a really consequence of COVID, okay? So this, and I will be back to that in that moment. Other spaces could suffer a little bit of price compression. My view is that it's not going to be a crack.
Okay, which is positive, so pretty positive. Thank you very much.
Going with that question, and because of pricing also, I think that what is going to happen is going to be a change of how is the shape and the form of the spaces. The office sector is not going to crack at all, but there is going to be a huge change on how spaces are going to be planned and the workplace, how it's going to be. I don't know how it's going to be, because I'm hearing a lot of things. I'm hearing that there will be more push to the open space wherever, but today one of the top CEOs of one of the top companies of real estate in Spain was telling me that we are going to be back in small spaces, one per each person. So no one knows how it's, but there's going to be a change for sure.
Hi, my name is Leon Sommers. I'm Dutch from the Netherlands. I have more question regarding the leadership. You're talking about the difficulties, leadership and working from home. Is there any advice on establishing your type of leadership while not seeing the people?
Yeah, it's very, very difficult because at the end, it's something really, really new. I think that you need to have quality conversations. So I will advise people not to talk with their colleagues just about work. Imagine if sometimes you have spent 1 month, 2 months without having a conversation with someone which is of nothing, that has nothing to be but just work. It's really tough. think in how you would have behaved in the office. Sometimes with that colleague, maybe you talk about soccer, you talk about music, you talk about wine. So keep that contact, even if it's through Teams or Zoom. And why not send him a beer and have a beer with him? So we have to imagine, we have to create things. You know, it's really different, and I think that working at home sometimes it's making us just think in work and be much more or less productive with much more hours in a laptop. Productivity is the key. If you're able to be productive with 5 hours and then you have time to think, it's something also, and I haven't said before, is one of the things I'm missing much more now, because I'm plenty of meetings, knowing the people. I don't have time to think and think about myself, how I want to be in the company, how I want to be in the society, how I want to be in the world today. This is very, very important. Have time to think. And it's something that sometimes we are always forgetting in our life. I had a course 3 years ago near Cambridge, and it was 3 days about thinking, the importance of think. So try to find 30 minutes, 1 hour per day just to think. Could be going back at home in the car when you arrive. It's kind of meditation or whatever, but it has to be also with feeling good, doing exercise, but feeling good with your spirituality. Maybe you think I'm crazy, but this is really, really important.
Thank you very much for being with us tonight. I'm Justin from France. And now that we know how rich your career is, I wanted to ask you, how did you build it, and what are your ambitions for BNP Paribas now that you're the new CEO? Thank you.
Okay. How do I achieve this? It's a mix of things. But if I have to summarize, we'll say trying to be normal, trying to be as I am. A lot of people say that I'm the same way outside and outside the company. Trying to be always with the best people and learn every day. Being humble, but also then being proud of what you are achieving. Okay, and try to show people that you are doing the things right, and share the succeed with the team always. Always think in plural, not in singular, and then with a lot of luck, of course. Luck sometimes is very important in life. I believe that luck comes when you have deserved it, okay? And my ambition from BNP will be to establish a clear path of where we want to be. So to have a clear vision, mission, and objective. To establish the spirit, and I don't know how to say it in English, but it's why are doing things, okay? To know why we are doing things, the purpose of the things, okay? And then to raise the position of BNP Real Estate in the Spanish market, where I believe it has to be, okay? And again, very much linked to the group. I think it's essential. Use our brand. Our brand is fantastic. The brand of BNP is amazing. And I think that being much more linked with such a great group and such a great bank, it will bring success to our business and to ourselves.
Hi, I'm Cesar. So, we're all future graduates here, and we're at the moment, I think, applying to different companies. And when we go, for example, on the CSR website, what we usually see is the kind of same words you've just been talking about. So ethics, innovation, diversity, customer-centric. And I'm sometimes wondering what's like the real aspect of it and what's sometimes a bit BS. So what's technically your real difference on these aspects compared to, let's say, where you were before at GLL?
Well, for what I have seen in BNP Real Estate, all you have said are key pillars and clear pillars and are clear ways to behave. To be honest, from where I come, it's more or less the same. At the end, JLL, it's also a quoted company, a multinational company, where integration, diversity, ethics, no discrimination, client-centric is all of that. Then it depends on that vision, mission. You have to feel fully comfortable for that. Again, if you remember I said before, you have to be 100% every day, Monday to Friday, etc. So if you need new challenges, is when you start to listen to potential new projects like the one I have just joined. But what I see in BNP is, from that side, I'm lucky because the highway is the same. Maybe I have just moved to another, but it's another highway with the same things, you know?
Hello, sir. I'm Simon from France. First, thank you for your presence tonight. I have a little questions about negotiation. Do you have any advice to share with us when you negotiate for a property? Maybe more on the personal level, maybe, because we're not going to invest in huge buildings or anything, but more what you would do for yourself.
Are you buying or selling?
I'm buying.
So you have hired me because you want to buy, and I have to advise you on how to do it. Are you sure that this is the asset you want to buy? No. Okay, let's find another. Yes. Okay, let's concentrate in this one. Have you got all the information of what you're going to buy? Yes, no. If no, it's essential to you, that information. Yes, we need it. No, let's keep it to negotiate. And then try to understand also, always when you negotiate, always you have to put in the shoes of the other, because that will give you the real view of the situation, okay, and see where you can push, whether or not, etc. If you're buying from someone who really needs to sell, you can figure out a discount, whatever. If not, but is the asset you really want, he will know that. So he will negotiate with you and say, there is no discount, you have to pay this, whatever. So it's trying to understand the singular situation in every moment. And of course, if you will pay me depending on the discount, you will have it. Just a joke.
Hello. Hello, my name is Constantine Mijares. I wanted to ask, I hope you haven't talked about this already because I was a bit late, but outside of Spain, in Europe, after COVID now, where do you see the most potential for house prices increasing? If you have any ideas.
I mean, it's outside Spain where I believe there's going to be more housing price increase?
Yes, in which regions where?
Again, like when they ask me about the American pricing, I'm not an expert. I cannot give you an answer because I don't know. I will give you, but this thing I have just done, it's something you will always have to do. Never answer something you don't know. The right answer is say, sorry, I'm not an expert, I cannot advise you in this. I will help you to find the right one that can advise you. I hope that a lot of you will become RICS member. And that is a question that they will always put you in the interview for RICS. Even to me, after 15 years of experience, they ask me about if I can help in agricultural deal, whatever. I say, no, I can't. I'm sorry. And that was the answer they were looking for. After that, in my opinion, Borja's opinion, I believe that in the countries that surround us, it will be key to have a political and social peaceful environment, okay? Because a lot of people is looking to that. I hope that Spain will have that and will have price increasing and a full supporter of the coast in Spain. I think that we are really, but we have to do things properly. Why are not the Florida or California of the States, but here in Europe? We need to do things properly. But again, I believe that places like Portugal, France, there is people saying that Morocco, or I'm not so sure, okay? I believe that the stability that we have in Europe, the social climate at the end, if you compare Europe to other parts of the world, we are really, really lucky to live and have the things that we have here. So who knows? Who knows? Because what happens if the vaccine doesn't work?
And regarding, besides France, why is major of the business in Italy and Germany? What's the difference between Italy and Germany to other EU countries? Or is there interior reasons from the firm that you have lower expenses? Or
I don't think so. I think that we are going to keep the big pillars of France, Germany, and then tier 2 where we have Spain, Italy, and Portugal. Let's see how behaves UK. There is a war that we have been talking about this war for 2 years, and since we are wearing masks, we have all forgotten, which is Brexit. Remember, let's see what happens with the Brexit and the impact, and if it's going to be a new worldwide region, and we will move from EMEA to continental Europe plus Middle East and Britain, plus APAC and Americas. So let's see. I'm not so sure, but I consider that the institutional investment and the real estate investment is going to keep focusing mainly in France and the areas of influence like Benelux or the Dutch, Germany, and then Spain, Portugal, and Italy, that despite the uncertainty always on Italy, they always survive. And I love Italy. I lived 6 years in Rome, okay?
Another question came to my mind. As I had also an experience in Mexico and I really loved it, I'm thinking about going there again. So I wanted to know, I'm wondering, what are the main differences between like the European market and the Latin American market? And if you had, I don't know, any advice? Or
It's first one, and that will give you an answer, and you can extract everything from that. I cannot say it is not, but it is a much more less transparent market. After that, you need a new line in your Excel when you do the cash flow, which is called others. Well, you deal with another line. No. I was just joking. No, you deal trying to do deals there with people much more or less like you. And who are them? It's the multinationals that are established there. Okay, that they follow the majority American rules. They have their contract in dollars and whatever. But I bought a piece of land in Acapulco in 2008, January 2008. And I have to hire lawyers, architects, fight for a permit. That was my ECP and my master.
All right, so I'm gonna ask the final question. It's two parts. So the first one is, BNP Paribas has invested together with Fifth Wall for the largest venture capital fund in Europe focused on PropTech. First, I wanted to ask you, what are like your views, the kind of trends you're seeing, the interesting stuff that's happening? I'll first let you answer that question.
You mean, sorry, in Spain or in general?
PropTech in general.
For?
Property technology.
PropTech.
Yeah.
It's something that it has arrived to our sector and is going to drive our sector. And this COVID has just accelerated, and in 2 years' time is going to happen what it was supposed to happen in 10 years' time. That's my view. We are starting to see things on maybe small deals. There is platforms like Bid for One, where you can buy instantly an asset, mainly residential ones. But there will be a global market linked to PropTech. There will be marketplaces of much more than single assets. There will be marketplaces where you will able to buy debt, I'm fully sure. And there is companies like JLL, for instance, a consultancy firm like JLL, they have a PropTech fund called Spark. And there is $100 million from JLL balance put in that fund just to fund companies linked to PropTech. So it's, for me, there is no brainer. That's why I said before that thinking data, thinking tech, always have that in mind.
Thank you. And then for the final question, you're in a leadership position in real estate. A lot of people in this room maybe want to have a job like yours down the future. So to end, what would be like your key advice to the students sitting right here?
Always never do what you don't want to do. When I left Garrigues, maybe you don't know, but Garrigues is the first law firm in Spain. And I left a position there as a lawyer, and I told my father, and he said, "You're crazy, you're destroying your life, you're gonna be nothing in your life." But I trust in myself, so that was the key thing is trust in what you're doing, trust in yourself, be humble, and it will arrive. I'm pretty sure of that, I'm pretty sure. But always, again, please, when you go to the work on Monday, you're tired because of the party of the weekend, but you go with strength and with enthusiasm. When you go on Friday, you're happy because weekend is arriving, but you have to have the same feeling. Again, I'm giving very simple examples because I say that your work has to be like your life, normal. It's great to work. It's great to enjoy. It's great to show people what you want to do, how you enjoy your life. And for me, working is enjoying life. It's perfect. I'm really happy. I'm really lucky also, okay? So feel very confident, trust in you, and always be happy, okay? Very good.
Well, before you go, Borja, just thank you for your time. Thank you for your teaching today. It was fantastic. And also thank you for conveying like these 3 E's, the excellence, equipo, and ethics. This is exactly what ESCP wants. And we give them the teaching and the knowledge, but we would be very proud of all of you that if you guys have ethics in your daily work in the future. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of leaders here, and we will feel very proud about that. But anyway, this is a small present for you, just to show how thank you we are for your time and your teaching.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, now.
All right, guys. So Noor is gonna open up the doors and she's gonna signal out which rows can leave, just so we can keep everything safe for the virus. And then finally, I would have to say thank you for the talk. It was very interesting. Thank you all, guys, for coming. It means a lot when we put in effort and we have such a great crowd is coming. And I would say, I wouldn't say anything else, just thank you, guys.